Okay, watercolor artist, you saw the traceable, but I'm here to tell you that we can do this, and there's actually a formula for figure drawing, normal figures and models. So let's take a look at it. So models, they stretch it out to be 9 heads tall. They make these unbelievably exaggerated legs. So here's what I want you to do. Take your paper, whatever size. I have 7-inch paper, 5 by 7. And so divide your paper by 9. So this is a little math. You guys are good. Math was my favorite subject in high school, and I actually am friends with my math teacher. Shout out Mr. Code on Instagram. As an educator, I love that I still have my relationship with kids too. It's amazing. So anyway, back to math. Take your 7 inches, divide by 9, whatever inches you have. And I got so lucky because it was like 0.75. So I could do 3/4 of an inch, whatever you got. Great if you have like a 9 by 12 and you're doing it sideways, then you have 1 inch each or whatever paper you have. Okay, so I took it and I marked out 3/4 of an inch for each one, starting here, because I wanted to leave a little space there actually. So I got my 3/4 inch. Let's go down here. And then I marked it off along here till I had 9 heads, and that's all we need. We just need to know where the heads are and where the numbers are. Are you ready? Can you draw an oval? You can do this. Okay, so let's go to the first. Go into your paper and literally draw an oval. Guys, let's do really light because we're gonna erase a lot of this. Okay, that's the head. We're almost there. Okay, so between 1 and 2, I want you to look halfway there. So it's like 1.5. So we can number these if you want. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So in 2, I want you to divide that in half, go across. That's where our shoulders are. Look, and then we're gonna make our super, super sassy. So we're gonna make the line is gonna create a lot of movement here. So we're gonna go diagonally this way, then diagonally this way. She's gonna have her hand on her hip. It's gonna be awesome. This is a marker drawing I did of this. But let's do it this way. Are you ready? So 2.5. And I want you to make this like 3 heads wide and tilt it up to the right. Don't worry, guys. It doesn't even have to be do not worry. Look, there we go. That's it. That's it. Now I want you to come down to the bottom of 3. That's where our waist is. And then make that line only about, because they make them super crazy, unrealistic, crazy model standards, so they're tiny. Not normal women. Okay, but let's go. Oh, I did that a little. Yeah, 3 and then tilt it down. So start to 3 and tilt it down. Okay, ready? That's it. That is it, y'all. Let's make an neck. So our person has a neck, our high fashion model. Okay, and then the arms. Are you ready? And it does not, I kid you not, it does not have to be perfect. We're gonna do the arms and then we're also going to do the body. So think about it as kind of coming in like this, and then we have nothing else because the skirt is totally free and easy. Okay, round out the shoulder. That's it. And then let's stop it here where the dress is, because this is the back of the head. So we're just gonna stop it. That's it. Make a little line here to show there's space between the arm and the dress. Let's put in the body here, curving a little so that we see that. And let's do that same thing over here. We're gonna have it going this way, and this arm is gonna be on the shoulder, so let's stop that one right about here. Are you ready? So easy, I'm telling you guys, come out. So look at number, just about 4, between 4 and 5, that's where we're gonna put, this is gonna be hiding behind the skirt. This is where we're gonna put the arm coming out. Just go out, it does not even matter where this goes. And then we're gonna curve for the elbow. And then we're randomly going to have this little hand just go up. We don't care about a hand, it's just gonna be pretending it's a hand. Easy, look at mine, no worries. And then we're going here and then going up again. And that is it, y'all. We've got our person. We're done, literally done. So we can erase in a minute. We're gonna have, let's do it a bun so it's easy hair. Let's put an oval here for the bun. We'll have some earrings. You guys are making all sorts of choices here. And then because we have, well, let's go to the feet. So they make, because they're fashion models, they're in the 9 space. So let's make the feet, let's do high heels, and let's do one facing kind of that way and one facing forward, because this hip is out here. We want one here. So let's do here. This is going to be a high heel that is facing forward. We got like the little heel here. And let's just go out, whatever. It's just going out, we're fine. That's it, that's the heel and then a little leg, and that's all we're gonna see. We're not doing legs or anything else. And let's put one over here. And this one, the heel, let's make it just curve down, all the way down. I stopped a little short there. So let's make it curve all the way down. And then put the heel coming down. And then across, and there you go. So we have one just kind of facing out, and we'll put a little leg, and the little leg can go here. We probably won't even see it. Okay, the skirt, the fun part, let's make it swoosh out this way and then swoosh out this way. Ready? And then we're gonna do it light. I've done it kind of dark here, but we're gonna raise. And let's just do like little rectangles, and we're gonna put all, and I want this, you guys to do this really light. And we're gonna do so many fun things inside here. And a lot of expressive things with lines. So just go across. Let's make the shape of it come out like up here, because it's really swinging out. And now these lines, instead of curving in that way, we'll have them curve this way, have some go out, the lines. Kind of like if we're doing a pumpkin and you're doing the outside lines and then the inside. So these are the outside lines, and then we've got the inside. There's still a lot of movement going on. Look at all that. You guys, we're gonna have so much fun with this as we do it. You're gonna love it. Okay, that's literally it. Let's round out the shoulders so she doesn't look like that she has some stiff 1980s shoulder pads in there. And then you can curve this down. Okay, once you're happy with it, that's it. That's it, guys. Take out a gum eraser or something else, and we're gonna just lighten up the lines a little bit. And then I'm gonna go over some in a black permanent pen, just also that's gonna be expressive. So go ahead and lighten up your lines. And as I'm doing this, I'm rolling my desk, so I don't want y'all to get vertigo. Okay, lighten up, lighten up, lighten up. Now I'm gonna grab a skinny marker, super skinny. Mine's gonna be a 0.01. Okay, so permanent marker, so that our watercolor doesn't move it around. And I'm not gonna do everything. We're gonna make it kind of fashion, like just kind of expressive. I'm gonna do a line here, maybe there, there. At the waist, I might define the inside here. Look, guys, look what it's looking like, pretty good. And for the hair, we're gonna do the same thing as like that pumpkin thing I was talking about earlier. Curved and then center, curved. Let's do it. It's a bun. So just a few hints that this is hair, because we're gonna do it in watercolor. So a couple of that, a little of that, and then we're curving and making it go. And the same thing with here. We're gonna curve and have some go this way and then in the center. There you go. And then we're gonna erase this. Let's draw in the dress as like a tank top. So do like straps and dip. You can make that a V or a curve. This is your painting, your mojo. Okay, and we're gonna round that a little. And then here's where it gets fun. Oh, let's do the hand. Like it's not even, it's just like a little line, see? No worries. And I'm just doing here to here. Now, the fun part, let's do a couple of these. Look at, guys, I'm just being expressive with my lines. Might do a couple that are like wavy, just maybe even one that like curves around. Guys, this is just totally expressive. And then I'm gonna put in the legs and then ink in these a little bit. Have it go up and then down and then around and back to the little heel. This looks kind of like an elf shoe, but we're fine. We're totally fine. We can have an elf model. And then a little bit of the back of that heel. And we're just gonna draw. Okay, so see all these fun, expressive lines? So fun, so expressive. Okay, now we're gonna erase all of it. Anything left with the pencil, and I'm gonna come back so I don't give you vertigo. I always find it amazing what will mix up skin color. And really, if you don't have, I just put a bunch of different combinations. So whatever you have on your palette, whatever paints, something will work. We basically want like a reddish brown. And then we want to put a lot of water with it. And then if we have darker skin tones, people of color, if you have a red background skin tone or more olivey or whatever, you guys can definitely mix something that whatever you are looking for. So I'll just show you an example and you guys can make your own color swatches or just go for it with what I have. So this one is Quin Rose and Yellow Ochre, and mixing them together gets us this way red. So this is one I'm not really super liking, and I'm adding water, so this is a gradient, and then adding more water, drying my brush. So this is really red, but if you do it super light, maybe someone has like a ruddy complexion, that would work. I wouldn't use that for anyone, probably straight out. Okay, then adding a little ultramarine blue to that one. So the idea is just a little, gosh, that's too much, but the idea is to kind of cool that off and maybe just add a little bit of color to that. You know, it's going to turn out a little more purpley because we just put blue into a reddish mix. Okay, let's try that one. Yeah, we got a little darker. Again, the darkest one, I'm not so sure how much I would like for a skin tone. The ones at the top though, take a look guys, which one you think you might like. I'm gonna use the top one, Raw Umber and Pyrrole Scarlet, because I'm fascinated by the fact, Maya Angelou's quote, we are more alike than we are different. And we're gonna have the same colors mixed in. And I think that that covers a lot of skin ranges. Okay, well that one's not super bad, but that's how you do it. You kind of just experiment. I'm just using what I have on my palette. So you guys may have different. I know that raw sienna works really well if you have that with your color. And if you want it to be less transparent and more translucent, you can put in like a buff titanium or something that's not super transparent, and then you won't see through it as much. But this is just for fun, guys, so choose whichever. This one's kind of cool too. I like that. I love that. Like, which one looks like a self tanner? That's the one I want. Maybe this one. This one. I need to pull out my self tanner at this point because we're getting into spring. I am pasty. They don't even make a color for me on this. I would be like this. I'd just be the plain paper. You could just leave me as the plain paper and we'd be fine. But anyway, choose your favorite. And if it just feels too complicated to try and get the right like reddish brown, you could even, I just tried burnt sienna solo and that works too. It's a little reddish, but whatever. Guys, this is just for fun. This is just for fun. So just pick one that you like.
Okay, let's start out with your lightest tone. We're gonna add a little bit more to it. We just are doing the back and the arms and the back of the neck, so it should be easy. If you're doing a little darker skin tone, you might want to start with your medium value of whatever. But remember, I used raw umber with Pyrrole Scarlet. I'm gonna use a little bit of a lighter tone just to get that in first. And I'm doing wet on dry and just following the drawing we made. Aren't you guys proud of yourselves? I'm pretty psyched with how our sassy model is turning out. So you guys can see it's really light. I have a really light first version here, and I'm gonna do some on the legs as well. And a little bit on the top of the shoe. And then let's look at the hair. So I'm just gonna pick a brown. You guys can do a really light brown. You can start with the darker brown. You can use an auburn color. But I tried three just to see what that might look like just before I tried this, just to see. And I'm just gonna do the simpler one on the left side. And I'm gonna start with, we're gonna have three tones again: light, medium, and dark. I didn't like the one on the left with like the bun maker look, so we're gonna do just side strokes that are C shapes to sort of use line as our powerhouse today. We're going to use these lines to form the shape of the head. So just keep your brush strokes going in curves, and then in the middle they'll be going straight. You can do it like this too with the bun maker thing, where you make a hole in the middle of the bun, but I'm going to make it as if it's just wrapped up. So we're going to start with our lighter, sort of lightish, and be sure to leave white in the middle of the bun, because that will be where the little accent highlight is. And then go ahead and drag it up. I'm using the side of my brush to just drag some of that color up. And kind of keeping it in the roundish lines to give it the shape. Okay, now that we have gotten a little time for this to dry, let's put in the shadows into the arms and back. Just where there's a little shadow here, and the hand, maybe because it's in shadow, and the back of the neck, back of the other arm, and shoulder blades. I have Copic markers, and I used to do a little fun like fashion drawing here and there with those. It's kind of the same principle. We're building up the layers, light to dark. A lot of fashion designers use art markers, alcohol-based markers, Copic markers, others. Some sketch on location and do cool stuff. Bring the markers are portable. Could do a little elbow. And then just maybe, and that's a lot. Like the shoulder blades actually really go up a little bit more mid back, but it's okay. We're doing some shadowing back here just to show that it's not a completely flat back. There's some topography to it. And then here's the fun. I just laid this out and thought, well, this will be a cool, riotous spring fashion color explosion. So and I just chose, you guys, you're choosing whatever colors you want. I just chose to go, you could go black, you could do anything, but I chose for the back of the dress just to be like an indigo, a little darker blue. And I'm going to use that to sort of guide my lines in the bottom of the dress and sort of create some of the movement and just for fun. This is going to be a lot more riot of color than I normally use, so it's kind of fun. And this is a little bit of brush control. I'm using a number 2, and it's just, it's wet on dry, but we're keeping it within this region and being careful not to cross over into the skin that might be a little bit wet. And so this is just giving you like some good control of your brush and control of the paint. I'm using like a medium thickness paint, not super drippy.
Yeah, it is just a little brush control around here. Make it go into the waist because these ladies are super skinty. Always, it's really kind of scary. I'm surprised. Well, no, there are inclusive. There's much more inclusive in the modeling world than there ever was, but it's still a little bit frightening sometimes. Okay, I like that. We're gonna add some shading down there. Now, pick your colors, guys. Pick what colors you want. We're gonna go back to the hair in a little bit. Right now, I'm gonna pick a bigger brush so that I can get some down. I'm gonna go with, I think like magenta, a little golden yellow, and maybe orange. That's my vibe right now. So I'm gonna I'm gonna keep this here. I'm gonna remove some of this. You guys, in the meantime, start gathering your colors. I would say let's not keep it chaotic. So maybe pick 3. There's a thing called like a color palette box a woman has designed for artists and other people, and it has tons of just different sort of color swatches together, almost like paint swatches together, and it is amazing. It helps you really design some color schemes for your stuff. Okay, so like I said, I think I'm gonna do a little yellow ochre, so like a dark yellow. I might do Naples yellow because it's a kind of fun peach. And then I'm gonna do magenta. I want you guys to pick 3 colors that are speaking to you right now. You choose. It does not matter. And this is just a fun. So you can imagine we can just put this anywhere. We're gonna do some light swipes, some darker swipes. I'm gonna do, I don't really have a great magenta, so I'm gonna kind of use this and put in a tiny bit of even purple, I think, and more rose. Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that with the blue. It's kind of a deeper, I put purple in with the Quin Rose. And then a little orange, but I don't want really bright orange. So I might get some of my Pyro orange, and then, how am I gonna dull it down? I think I'll dull it down with some buff titanium and maybe even some yellow. Actually, I like that. It's kind of salmony. You guys choose your three. I've got this, this, and this. I think I'm good with those. Okay, but we don't want it to be like sort of clownish. So I'm gonna find, just go for it, guys. This is the fun thing. We're just gonna do like a riot of colors. I might do just like little swipes and pick it up. You might choose, I might do that somewhere else and do just a rectangle. Some places I might bring it up some more. Can have it, try to keep it kind of going in the directions of our lines. I really want it light to start though. So we can do some areas that are more circly. You can do so many things. Let's bring it up to the point of the brush and do like a little skinny. We're not just following the lines though. And you guys remember, it can go like a wavy, it can go kind of all over the place. Let's see, a little of the orange. We can get that in some places. That is really bright. I might want to lighten that a little. And then you can drop some water in and have it go down too. It's kind of fun. You might want to do that. I'm gonna put a little bit of on the outer edge here of that orange. I'm gonna put a little down at the bottom. And oh, I want some more yellow. It looks like I need some more of that. And I'm gonna do this one in a bold stripe, just kind of like right up the middle. And I'm not really only trying to do stripes, I'm trying to make it kind of interesting. You can do like triangles, like some circles and stuff. And we're gonna add still a lot to this, so don't you worry. You might have some going like out, some lines go just kind of like I said, I'm keeping in the direction and go out here. So fun. We're gonna add some pen lines at the end to bring this all together. Now let's take our skinny tip of the brush again and do a couple of these pink lines. See, now it's a little darker and it's adding some more. And it's good if it goes into some of our other stuff, no worries. Look, I just went on top of the orange. That's just gonna end up looking really cool. So just have fun with it. Let's move around it and just do different things. Can do lots of stuff. We might have like some outlines like that. Decide if you like that. If not, just get rid of it. I did a little curve there. It's all up to you. Okay, keep going with it. We're gonna let some of that dry in there. And then we are at the end gonna go back in with some indigo and add really expressive lines. Right now, let's do the shoes. I've got little heels and I'm gonna do it in a Payne's Gray. Just want them to be black. We could do blue. I'm just gonna do black. And I had one going sideways, curve it down. And it shouldn't have that top there. That looks like an elf. If you take that off, it looks better. So just take the front of that off. Okay, I'm gonna do that. How fun is that? And this is just like the bottom, the back of the heel. Also always amazed that they're able to carry off these massive outfits and stuff in huge heels in front of huge crowds. It's amazing. I have seen that there's a fashion designer, I think his name is Max, and I think he's around 11 years old. He's amazing, an amazing designer, his sense of color, style, and fashion. What would you guys like to do next? I think we're ready for the hair again. So I'm going back to the brown, whatever brown you had, and I'm gonna add the middle tones now, the mid-tones. And to do that, we're just going to take a look at it. add the tones going up from the back and around the side. So let's do that here. I'm just adding, and I'm just doing strokes sort of on the side of my brush, not the tip. I just want to keep it kind of casual like that. And we're gonna leave some room at the top. And then a little bit of, I'm gonna put on the point now to get some hairs coming down this way. And then at the round of the bun. Does it look like it's coming to life a little bit? And we'll get one more, we'll be getting one more even. We can put a couple of lines up here too. Okay, the back of the dress. Let's work on that just a little more, the blue that we had, the indigo. Let's do some of the color this way. We're doing like the mid-tone, so let's get them at the base of the dress, just at the very bottom, and we'll add some going that way too, and then just maybe a little bit over here. We don't need too much more there. We just have a couple areas, and you know, there's, if you feel like an area is too dark, like here, let's say we wanted to add a little interest, you can dip your brush into clean water, look, and take a little out. That just gave it a little bit more of a watercolory look there. And then we can do that on the other side as well. Okay, let's take some of our color that we had for the fun at the back of the dress, and we're gonna make it a little bit bolder and have a little bit more area where it's fun. And so some of this I might just put to the side and have it brush in. You guys see how it mixes together for you, what you think. I'm gonna take also, I think, a little bit of my blue here, and just give it some little lines coming down here, like it's like shadowed up there a little bit. And then that will dry and we can add some more. Okay. And what else? I might do a little bit darker of my yellow some places. Let's try over here. I want some water on it to make it move. That was a little dry, but it's still cool. See how it's going to move together. And maybe just like kind of even like a circle area. Totally up to you. I think it looks good, super fun, and you can make some like the bottom of the dress a little bit. You can make it areas where you've gone over your stuff. I'm just down here making little curly cues down here just to give the bottom of the dress some weight. And guys, I mean, we are almost done. It's super fun. And then the last thing we'll do will be to add some indigo all over and make some more expressive lines with our black pen. I think you'll like that. Okay, let's do the darkest of the hair. So I'm gonna get more of my brown, but I'm gonna get it in a really thick concentration. There we go. And then we're gonna put it towards the bottom and use lines. So you can see the individual lines kind of here. And then here, we're gonna do dab in. So this is the shadow of like where there's like a little depth where the bun goes in. And then same thing on the bottom, we just want a little of that, not too much. Okay, that's looking really good. Let's blend that in a little bit on this side. And that will come through for us when this dries. It looks dark now, but it's gonna be good when it dries. And we can bring a couple hairs into there too. And then, here we go. A couple of darker hairs here. Now also, if you got a skinny brush, we can add earrings and whatever fun stuff you want. We could put like a bangle there. I'm gonna do a couple of loose hairs coming around here just for fun. And I did that by just going on the tip of my brush. I'm gonna put some earrings too, so I don't wanna go too crazy. but I'm using the tip of a number 1 just to add some stuff in there. Super fun. Okay, then maybe a bangle. What color? I think the yellowish, the darker yellow. So I have yellow ochre. And just throw it in. Maybe I'll do 2. We'll put 2 on top of each other. So fun. And then earrings. What do you think? Whatever color you want. I'm thinking, I don't know. I think the yellow again. So I'm gonna make these like kind of funky, like big loops or like triangles or something. So fun. And we can add some to that in a bit. We can also fill those in if we don't like it like open, but I think it's kind of fun. It actually looks like pigtails like that. So I'm gonna close them, but leave a spot for a highlight. We'll do the highlight like, well, the sun's coming, the light's coming this way, so we'll leave a highlight on the top left side. I'm making mine solid, guys. Solid circles. We're gonna add some expressive lines around that too. I think you'll really like. Okay, what do we think? It's time for the indigo. So I'm getting my number 4 like a little bit bigger, and I'm almost out of it, so I'm gonna mix some more. It was ultramarine and Payne's Gray I had, because oh gosh, that's really inky, but I kind of like it. Like octopus squid ink. Okay, I'm gonna put this on now. I don't want it super wet, but I want it to be able to move around. Okay, let's just decide. Let's make some fun lines. Maybe some like outlines like that. I want that to be more connected. So I really do want this to be up on the point so that it kind of moves around first. Let's do the movement of yours. And it also really depends on what colors you chose too. Okay, there's a fun line over there. It's up to you guys, but this line and pattern. Sorry, this line gives you such movement. Let's do just like a random. And I'm just gonna draw also some like shapes. I'm kind of like outlining the dress there. Okay. And I'm gonna lighten that one a little because I didn't love it. You can add some water and lighten some areas too if you don't love it. And I'm gonna add some dark, a little bit of the blue underneath here. See guys, that's looking like you can see under the dress a little just by adding a little shadow. And a little bit more up here maybe. So fun. Let's deepen this back of the dress area. And a little bit of that. Okay. One more, I think, guys, with the hair. We need one more. So in this one, I'm gonna add a little Payne's Gray to my brown now because I needed it just one. Oh gosh, that's too much. But I needed it just one shade darker. Okay, same places. We're gonna do here, the very bottom, and go curving up a little bit. And then tap there and just do a little at the very bottom there. And I just did those as little strokes up, and I'm gonna wet some of those and blend them out a little. Leave some straight lines and then leave some to blend up. See, doesn't that actually add a lot? And I'm gonna put a couple of hairs through here so it's not just completely open, but we want that as a little highlight. There we go. I can put some of the hair coming down. Okay, I'm gonna add one last thing while I'm here. I'm gonna add a little bit more of my skin tone and do one more. Little bit under here, under the neck, so it's really obvious there. And a little bit more in the shoulder blades. A little bit more over here where we had it. And the hand. just to darken a little, and then down at the legs too. You can pick it on one side or both. Okay, guys, that's really it. How cute is that? I don't know, it didn't quite go with this. I think a little magenta would be good. The earrings we can deepen up a little. Let's see. We'll add a little bit more of our little gold. And I want to show you one more thing before we go, and I think you'll really like this. If you haven't, check it out. They make sample dots of watercolors for the different companies. And I thought it would be super fun to add gold to this one. So we could do these as dots, or we could add like a little bit over. If you don't have gold, totally fine. This is just for fun. You guys could do this with yellows and stuff. But I wanted to add just like a little bit more abstract places here and there. So fun. And splattering would be fun on this too, I feel like. So maybe we should do that. I'm gonna put it over some of the areas like this. This is really cool. I highly recommend you guys. I think it was $7, but then you get to try out so many new colors. There's a whole line of like a shimmery line. There's other things, especially with paints being expensive, and with in this economy, in this as a teacher or whatever you're doing, you probably don't have a ton of spare money. This is a really good way to test out different colors. Okay. Here we go, guys. I'm gonna put a couple of dots in there. We're good. Do you think? I'm gonna add a little bit of my shininess up here. You don't need it though. It's still gonna look awesome. I like this pearlescent shimmer. Okay guys, I hope that brought you to the French runway, and now you're gonna be in your fancy couture mode and you're gonna go dress up and go somewhere fun. If not, I hope you're gonna enjoy your little awesome figure and be proud of yourself, guys. We did a 9-head figure and it looks pretty decent. You don't have to be daunted by figures or faces. We'll do face too if you're interested. I'm gonna do that this weekend as well. Okay guys, keep the mojo flowing. Come back next time for some more fun tutorials. I'm so glad you're here. Have a great rest of your weekend.
Work, now turn to the right. Work, sashay, shantay. It don't